All right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday. You guys know what we do on Friday. You guys know what Friday is all about. It's about a few different things, but we like to start our Fridays off with Pass Rush Friday, and today will be no different. We've got some pass rush data to look at, and if you watched that game on Monday night, you probably already know it was pretty darn good, and it's always interesting to see the exact ways in which it was good. So let's talk a little bit about exactly how the Seahawks got to their pressure count. Also, think about how the Pro Football Reference data compares to the Pro Football Focus data. I guess the thing that really jumps out here is, unlike last week, there wasn't necessarily a lot coming from the defensive line, according to Pro Football Reference. Leonard Williams had 2 pressures, and that was it from that group. Nothing from Murphy, nothing from Reed, nothing from Morris. Not that Morris plays that much, and usually he plays on edge now anyway. So not a lot there. Be right back. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today. Get to it and go have some fun with sports this year. All right, welcome back. And not a lot from the linebackers either, although you wouldn't necessarily expect it. Drake Thomas had one. He had the one pressure, which he's been more effective on the blitz than I would have expected, I think. Pretty good at it, honestly, adding something that I don't know if Tyrese Knight could have added, even if Tyrese Knight was playing better. But things are still well on pace for both of these positional groups, by the way. Based on my projections, although my projections, they're clearly kind of getting thrown out the door here because Murphy has developed so unbelievably quickly into an elite pass rusher despite not even getting to play a lot at 3-tech. I mean, these projections look like they're going to get crushed. Obviously, things can change, but we're not having any issues getting consistently good pressure out of both of these position groups relative to my expectations going in. Edge rusher is where the sausage got made this week, and really we're talking about 2 guys, which isn't terribly surprising because one of our edge rushers and a guy who's actually played really well so far this year, in my estimation, Derek Hall's out. So according to Pro Football Reference, and this is interesting, Uchenna Nwosu, great game. He had 4 pressures by PFR, and DeMarcus Lawrence had 6. So by the way, that's 13 pressures over the last 2 games that DeMarcus Lawrence has played. I think over that 2-game span, he's played probably about 100 snaps. Let's actually check the exact count here. 103 snaps, 103. And of those 103 snaps, most of them have probably been passing snaps. But regardless, this is insane because this is not really even DeMarcus Lawrence's best feature. DeMarcus Lawrence is a run-stuffing edge that can do some stuff as a pass rusher, but that he's been this good the last 2 games is crazy. So awesome stuff there. So everything came from those 2 guys because Mafe, and this is interesting, right? Because Boye Mafe was our highest graded defender on PFF. They gave him 5 pressures in that game, and Pro Football Reference gives him nothing, which, I mean, we can definitely debate the merits of whether or not that's fair, but I'm going to go with it on this chart at least. Again, I think that at the end of the year, it's kind of fun to be able to compare PFF to PFR and understand the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. But that's pretty tough, man. Boye Mafe played a good game on Monday night, and for him to get 0 pressures out of that, I don't know. I don't know. That's a little bit tough for me to completely agree with. And of course, Derek Hall didn't play, like we said. So that's 10 pressures from the edge rushers. So all the heavy lifting these last 2 weeks, man. I mean, look at this. Look at how good this edge room is playing, and they don't even have Derek Hall. And it's not like Derek Hall is some... He's not some player that wasn't any good for us and he was just getting undue hype. No, he was playing good for the most part before he got hurt. So understand that we are talking about an edge room that is down one of their key players, and yet here we are. And by the way, the edge room on the whole, despite Boye Mafe being... I think it'd be fair to say that Mafe, and even to a certain extent Hall, although Hall more because of injury, are off pace. Overall, the edge room is on pace to meet my expectations this year, so life is good. Life is good. Cornerback, we had 1 pressure from Josh Jobe in this game, so he's now got 2 on the year. We see something there we like, I guess, although I would expect most of these blitz opportunities to go to Witherspoon when he gets back, because he's the corner who's a really good blitzer. But we are overall blitzing the corners more than I would have expected so far this season. We're doing it a lot with Witherspoon, and Jobe has done it a little bit as well. We've had more success here than I would have anticipated. So we're not doing a lot of blitzing around here, but I think that in things like this, you can kind of see that when we have done it, it's been fairly effective. And we also got a couple from the safeties for the first time this year. Got some pressures from the safeties. We got one from Eamon Worry. And, I mean, he's just doing stuff all over the field right now, and it's a blast to watch. I really like watching Eamon Worry play, and we're not even really getting the downside that some people were, I think, justifiably concerned about when we drafted him. Like, there was some concern that, hey, this is going to be a work in progress. It's not. And I didn't think it was going to be a work in progress completely, but I didn't think he was going to be this good this quickly. And then we also had the Ty Okada pressure, which, by the way, was a sack. So... even though McDonald has been down some of the players that he would have expected to have, he's still not afraid to utilize these guys the way he wants to. Okada has 2 pressures this season. I think he has, does he have 2 sacks or just the 1? Either way, it's been fairly effective. And DeAnthony Bell has a sack this year as well, by the way. So that's 16 pressures on the season, on the game. So these last 2 weeks, you can't ask for much more. Especially from a team that is missing a lot of their best defensive players. Like, this is kind of crazy. Coming off a game where you had 5 pressures on Baker Mayfield, we needed that, and we got it. So, really, really enthused about where this is headed. Really, really optimistic about what this picture is being painted as. We are on pace for well over 200 pressures, and these are PFR pressures. That counts for something. PFF, we're on pace for... I think 400 or something like that. I'm not sure exactly, but it's somewhere around there. We're on pace for about 400. So the fact that PFR is giving us what looks like will be over 200, man, special unit. This pass rush, I know the defense as a whole is not on the level of the Legion of Boom pass rush, or our defense in general, because that was the best defense in the league. This one isn't yet, but the pass rush might be better. It might be. All right, that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. More videos coming. I'm going to do a bunch of trade deadline stuff probably later today, but we got to get through a couple things first. See you guys soon. Go Hawks. Everybody have a great rest of your day.